So the Jackie Vautour case, as it stands right now, we're in year 55 of the ongoing dispute over the expropriation of their land and 200 and some families' land from Kouchibouguac to make a national park, the collusion between Louis Robichaud and Pierre Trudeau. But some people who are following the case are using the words censorship and using the words conspiracy regarding the lack of heavy media coverage of Jackie Vautour. Let me break it down for you. There's no censorship of the Jackie Vautour case. Many media have covered this over the last while, especially since last year, the bulldozing of the Jackie Vautour site to Sacred Fire. Independent media in the province is covering it, L'Acadien Nouvelle, SRC, me, different media. But in the English media, I'm going to break it down for you why there's a case that anybody's thinking about censorship either is a conspiracy theorist or hasn't looked at the whole situation. Let's give you an example. If I'm cooking you Thanksgiving turkey, I put the turkey in the oven for 3 hours and it doesn't cook. What does that tell you? Is it a conspiracy by Sobeys not to cook the turkey to go bad to buy another one? No, the stove is broke down. Since the major break with weeklies, when the Irving sold the weeklies to the National Post, most of them are folded. Before you go to a local weekly, be it Sussex, Woodstock, Hamilton, whatever, you could write letters to the editor. You can do all kind of different stuff, talk to a reporter, talk to an editor. You could basically ask for coverage. Anything going on with Jackie, there's no weekly that any supporter of Jackie Vautour can write to, English weeklies, can write to or try to convince someone to follow up the case. There's no editorials. National Post bought them out. There's no way the National Post is going to be worried about a non-status Indian land claim. You see, the APTN and all the Aboriginal media don't want to touch the Jackie Vautour case. It's not censorship. It's basically something that they feel their people, a lot of Aboriginal people do not recognize Eastern Métis or Acadian Metis, and most of the national Métis federations don't recognize New Brunswick Métis, even though that's where they got their name in the first place from the Québécois and Acadian Métis of the 1600s onwards, dealing with the expulsion where the Indians had came back or the non-status. So is it indifference? Yes. CBC English resources are not as big as the French channels. Moncton, Saint Jean, North Shore, you have much more veteran reporters. Not too many reporters have ever covered the Jackie Vautour case because the majority of the stuff has been in the courts, and the courts are not what they call a beat thing. It's not like covering a hockey team or a baseball team. See, Jackie Vautour case is very, very important to cover. That's why when members of the Vautour family contacted me to help with, explanation, media is not the right term, but media in relation to letting people know what's going on or updates. What I'm providing is background of the case, the other side, including Parks Canada and some people that don't believe in the Eastern Métis or Acadian Métis concept. My theories, I've been doing editorials on why I think most Aboriginal people do not respect the claim of Acadian Métis in the province, even though by numbers there could be as many as 25 to 50,000 in the province were Aboriginal blood, mostly through my extended family, LaPointes, Corys, Mullalis, Hickeys, Goodens on the North Shore. Most of those people married into the Benjamin River, New Mills, Heron Island, Neil Rabar, previous First Nation. Now, Jackie Vautour case, we've been posting all stuff, reaction from various people who are studying the case, professor from Concordia, different places. You cannot say in 2024 there's any censorship because we have multiple media across the nation, because you have French and English. National Post does not control the French press. They don't control the English press because no one wants to buy the Telegraph, the Moncton Times, or the Gleaner like they did in the 2000s and 2010s, because basically it's not worth its value. The National Post is run by a hedge fund. They're only going to put in something that's going to sell papers. And Jackie Vautour is not going to sell papers to either the white people, the French people, or the Aboriginal people. Why L'Acadien Nouvelle and SRC have covered this is because there's Francophone aspects to it. English papers don't really understand the Acadian experience from the Francophone and the Anglophone perspective. You automatically think Acadians are French. The majority are, but some are bilingual like me, and some have Arsenault, whatever last name, that ties with Acadian background, and it's not, they don't speak French. You see, indifference is a factor too. This has been going on so long, and the journalists that initially covered it from 1969 onwards are either retired, dead, or in their 80s or 90s, and they're living in nursing homes or hanging out with their family and friends. They don't have the what do you call the saying Godfather 3, the Eli Wally character, the juice of youth. So the new media is helping out. There's been more people covering it, and we appreciate that. But like I said, the independents, SRC, Lac Nouvelle, me, CBC English may cover it down the road. It did get some coverage when the Jackie Vautour location was bulldozed. It's sort of like it was Parks Canada's Super Bowl. They were trying to get as much anti Jackie Vautour they could in that incident, but the family came back. Now the Sacred Fire is still going with members of the Vautour family at the Kouchibouguac homestead. The graveyard for some of the Kouchibouguac residents and deceased residents are just up the road. So I encourage everybody to learn more about the case, listen to our podcast, Google online, put the Jackie Vautour case. You'll see a myriad of articles. But Aboriginal historians do not recognize Eastern or Acadian Metis as a distinct society. Now, what is a distinct society? Well, that's something the educators can determine. If I'm telling you that people from Jacket River, Belleau, and Lorne have their own culture, and they have their culture based on the Aboriginal background they have, hard work, dedication to family, promotion of their family, promotion of the resources of Turtle Island, how is that not a distinct society? People from Jacket River, Lorne, Belleau, Gravel Hill, Murchie Settlement, all those areas have worked the land. They've been fishermen, they've been loggers, they've been miners. So how is that different than people from Pennsylvania or Hamilton being steel workers or heavy industry workers? That's not a distinct society. Where we love our own type of music, we have our own type of jokes, we have our kind of Shiak style. In English, we have certain key words. So, but, when you get into the words conspiracy, that's like a cult word. That's like Donald Trump. If you subscribe to conspiracies, you become a cultist because you can't think for yourself. Just say to yourself, this is what's going on. Before you think conspiracies, think about the term indifference, think about the term lack of resources, and some people just don't care. You can't expect everybody to care about... Okay, I'll give you an example. If there's a car accident in front of you, there's some people say, oh, so sorry for the people in the car, but other people will say, well, it's delaying my trip a little bit, and when it's going to be cleaned up. Everybody takes something different. Because the three factors in this, ladies and gentlemen, the situation is going on 55 years. There's a lot of people that don't know about it. There's a lot of people that know about it and don't respect the Jackie Vautour situation. There's a lot of status Indians that respect it, but, most of the chiefs have rejected what Jackie and his family has stood for. So this is not a conspiracy. This is a combination of factors. There is no censorship in the Jackie Vautour case. If anything, like any other, for example, the proposed mine up in Dalhousie Junction, have you heard about that? Well, no, because the people are not covering it. There's an indifference on that because of the North Shore. They're not selling many papers, and the media is not strong in the North Shore like it was before when I had the Campbellton Tribune, La Vidéo, La Voix de Restigouche, Moncton Times, CKLE, and all that, right? It's not the same. So things occur you don't know. Like, okay, murder in Ash Creek, okay? There was a murder in Ash Creek last year. Have you heard about this until now? Like I said, is that a conspiracy? No. Is it censorship? No. It's just laziness and indifference. That's how it goes. So please listen to my previous podcast on the Jackie Vautour case. Please Google people who have been covering the case. Please go on these sites and read about it. Like I said, do not believe in conspiracies because conspiracies are nectar for the nitwit. Don't even talk censorship, okay? It's hard when the national APTN, both French and English, does not want to cover this. It's not that they don't know what's going on, they just don't want to cover it. And that's not censorship. That's basically marked indifference, or, they can't sell it to their listeners. If a status Indian goes on, okay, TV and APTN said we support Jackie Vautour, I mean, people in the Métis out west could basically say, I'm stopping sponsorship of this channel. It's dangerous, right? It's like don't mention Jackie Vautour. I've seen that before. I've gone to Aboriginal gatherings and asked about the Jackie Vautour case. Oh, we don't talk about that. It's not under a jurisdiction because he's not status Indian. They barely recognize Indian blood in the Kent County, Restigouche County, Gloucester County area. And there's tons. Like I said, just to the points alone, one grandfather, great-grandfather of my family, 500 people. Do we exist? Yes. It's like I said, ignorance and indifference. That's the worst part. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for my rant. Please check out our Jackie Vautour podcast. If you like what we're doing here with the channel, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.